Hey guys, I'm meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. And this is the On the Snow, Snow Before You Go forecast, first week of 2022. And I think it really favors the Pacific Northwest. I think that's where you've got this, what's going to be a large trough of low pressure and very powerful jet stream. It's going to nail the Pacific Northwest, BC, and then eventually the northern tier of states, the northern tier of the Rockies. This is my odds for best snow, my spider chart. You get a quick glimpse of where I think the best snow is going to be, and it's, initially it's up in the Pacific Northwest. It's Revelstoke, it's Whistler, BC. Then it's going to spread down towards Schweitzer and Whitefish, and then down into the Tetons. We're looking at a very big week through the 9th in the Tetons, which I'll show you. And then that's going to sink down into the Wasatch, and then eventually that's going to sink down into the central and northern mountains of Colorado. So those are the areas that I would focus on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those areas that are high on that chart. All right, let me take you up to Whistler, BC. Everybody's starting to line up already, and you can see the snow coming down there up in Whistler, British Columbia. And this is just the start of what's going to be about at least three storm systems, maybe four, through the 9th. We're talking, at least in my opinion, I think we're looking at probably 2, 3, 4 feet, maybe 5 feet, as I'll show you in a couple of places up there. So let me just show you how this is going to play out and why this is such an important pattern. Giant low. This is what we call a trough of low pressure. This is the kind of thing that was responsible for that historic storm cycle that moved through parts of Colorado, and big totals through Colorado. Even northern New Mexico had a lot of snow out of this. It's the same type of feature. And then there's another low back here. So there's a couple of things lined up. And let me show you what the storm track looks like. So there's your dip right there, and then it comes down and dips again and creates this trough. And now it's moving in to the Pacific Northwest. See, that's why when you look at this, and all these areas of low pressure will come up and then sink down into this trough, and everything will rotate through here and then hit the Pacific Northwest. And let me clear this out and just show you. So again, it's this area here, BC, Pacific Northwest, Oregon, down into the Tetons, Idaho, and Montana. And then this area kind of clipping eastern British Columbia, western Alberta. This is where the best snow is going to be over the next 5 days, at least 3 to 4 days. And then what will happen is, as the jet sort of sinks a little bit further to the south, the pressures will start to fall in the Wasatch and then into the central and northern mountains of Colorado. I'd say starting on the 4th, all that snow curtain then moves down into those areas. So I think that's how it's going to play out over the course of time. Let me show you how this looks on the future radar here as far as the GFS, the American Model Interpretation. Let me take, so that's our current state. Let me take you into Monday morning. Really heavy snow, Oregon, Washington, BC, and some of that's clipping northern Idaho and northwest Montana already. Tuesday morning, that snow, you can see it blowing down through Idaho into the Tetons already at that point, down into Big Sky, northern California. And now between Tuesday and Wednesday, it hits the Wasatch. Let me take you into Wednesday morning, and it starts to slide into northwest Colorado. Here's Wednesday morning right here, and look at that. It's snowing. Central and northern mountains of Colorado, back into the Tetons, back into the Wasatch. Idaho is getting snow. Nice sort of northwest type flow pattern. Let me take you into, and look at that low spinning up in Colorado. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. That'll pull some colder air down for sure. Look at Thursday morning right here. This is the 6th of January. Heavy snow up into the Tetons, into Montana, Idaho. Another low hitting the Pacific Northwest. So this is just low after low with that trough of low pressure and that dip in the jet as I was showing you. Here's Friday morning, same type of setup. Heavy snow, Pacific Northwest. Let me take you one more. Here's Saturday morning. Snow sliding through the Tetons, Wasatch, and into Colorado. So we've got a very good week set up here. Again, initially across the Pacific Northwest, then it expands south over time. I'm going to do my snow totals in 2 phases here, 2 time periods, basically from today through the 4th. And you can see where the bulk of the snow is. It's Pacific Northwest, it's up in Shasta, it's running up into Idaho, Wyoming, and also parts of Montana up into parts of Revelstoke, BC. That's phase 1. And also, to some degree, it is clipping the Wasatch as well, not to forget about the Wasatch there. All right, so that's phase 1. Let me take you into phase 2. This will be the 5th through the 10th. And at this point, we're talking 1 to 2 feet over the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Another couple of feet over the Wasatch. You saw there was about a foot phase 1. Well, phase 2, there's another 2 feet. So we're looking at 2 to 3 feet over the Wasatch. In the Tetons, you'll notice, let me go back and just show you this. So I'm going to just stay on this. But initially about 6 to 12 phase 1, another 2 feet out of this. So it's the same kind of thing as the Wasatch. We're talking 2 to 3 feet, and I think that there's a potential for 4 feet high on Rendezvous Mountain in Jackson Hole through this period. So we're going to see substantial totals. And look at Schweitzer between phase 1 and phase 2. I mean, grand totals through the 10th. I mean, a couple of feet up there in some of these places, 40, 50, 60 inches up through Baker, Stevens Pass, Timberline, another good shot here through Revelstoke. So this is going to be a good phase, good period here. All right, let's talk about the Northeast. You've got a storm system. You've got a little clipper this week, but then a more important storm possible on Friday up in the Northeast. In my opinion, the Friday storm is really the main game in town. If it comes together, we'll get a foot or more out of this, potentially up to 2 feet over Mount Washington. If that Friday storm comes to fruition, you can see the potential there for a powder day Friday and Saturday. So that's a good thing. Let me take you back to my plume. I told you that I think 50 inches, well, when I was saying 4 feet, I think 4 feet's possible, maybe even 50 inches high on Rendezvous Mountain up there in Jackson Hole. If everything comes together, certainly 3 feet. But could we reach 50 inches up there by the 9th and 10th? I think it's possible, and you can see that on my snow plume forecast right here. So that is what I'm watching at this point. Numerous powder days coming this week and this upcoming weekend for the west and parts of the northern tier Intermountain West as well, and then one good storm possible for the northeast. All right, thanks guys. Always appreciate you tuning in here. And again, this is the On the Snow Before You Go forecast.